Yo, check. What is up, guys? JAMAICA'S here with another reaction. And today, this one is a bit different. This one is London Gangster and the killing that haunts him. Minutes with Lad Bible TV. Big up Lad Bible TV. So this is a gangster from back in the days with a killing that haunts him. So should be interesting. Don't know what to expect, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. So let's go.
Frank was sitting in the motor. He was my driver, old Frank. He went, "What's going on?" I said, "Tomorrow." I said, "At 7 o'clock in the morning, go and get Kennedy." That was my sawn-off shotgun. It was named after President Kennedy. I said, "And I want one."
Yo, his sawn-off shotgun is called Kennedy, dog. I'm already laughing because this guy is serious. Once you name your gun Kennedy or any other name, you're a serious guy. Because you cherish that weapon so much, you give it a name because you always have it on you. You know, like some people name them car, certain name, Betsy, Pa, whatever. Them cherish them that possession. He cherishes his gun.
Go and get Kennedy. That was my sawn-off shotgun.
Kennedy!
It was named after President Kennedy. I said, "And I want one chamber, one buckshot filled with rock salt, and the other one with the normal buckshot in, all right? Yeah? I'm not messing about with these people. They're dangerous. I'm going to shoot them."
19 minutes with them. Let's go.
People called me a gangster. I didn't like it. One guy called me a gangster, so I stuck a gun in his mouth and educated him that I weren't a gangster. And I said, "Look, I'm a businessman, and my business is crime."
Tell me about your childhood.
Well, my family was all straight goers. I was the one who corrupted them all, because they'd never seen so much money as I was earning. So they was all straight goers. My dad was a builder. My mum was a stout-home mum, like she had 8 kids. I was the baby, so I got spoilt. And I went to good schools. I went to grammar. And 2 bent old Bill from Stoke Newton. I was walking through a park, a couple of my old school friends, one of them let off a starting pistol, so the 2 coppers come in, and they started getting heavy with them, and I went, "Oh, you can't do that." I said, "You've got to have a responsible adult there." He went, "What, are you a lawyer?" I said, "No, but I know my rights." And he went, "Okay," walked out, they come back, threw a razor on the floor, cutthroat, and he went, "We're nicking you, but that come out your pocket." I went, "What are you talking about?" So they nicked me, took me to Stoke Newington.
So the razor that was chucked on the floor wasn't chucked by him? That's how I must say? Him never threw it on the floor? It was thrown by the police, so to them, basically, them try to get one over upon him because him say something about how them speaking to him friend. You can't take it, you can't take a minor away without a responsible adult there as well. So like in the interviews, shit like that. Let's go.
There. He went, "What, are you a lawyer?" I said, "No, but I know my rights." And he went, "Okay," walked out, they come back, threw a razor on the floor, cutthroat, and he went, "We're nicking you, but that come out your pocket." I went, "What are you talking about?" So they nicked me, took me to Stoke Newington. He said, "They said if you plead guilty, it'll be a 10 bob fine. If you don't plead guilty and you go up the steps," he said, "you're going to get a balls for that." So I done guilty.
Up the steps. Up the steps mean to the courtroom, right? If you go up the steps, if you go upstairs, because it's the courtroom, you would have the chance in the UK.
When I've gone back to work, of course, they've read it in the newspaper, I lost my job. And with a criminal record, it was very hard to get another job. So what opened up to me, I thought, if you're going to make me a bad guy, I'll show you how bad I can be.
So this is how he started. From his friend, from him sticking up to him for his friend, to what he's become, or what he became. Because of two bad cops, or how much cops that was there, that just changed him in mind. So he must say, "Yo, listen, if that's the case, I'm gonna show you how bad me can be." Let's go.
Can you talk to me a little bit about what was the first thing you did?
We was bashing people up for money. And they said, "This guy owes us 500 quid. Well, in them days, the average man was earning 12 quid a week, so 500 quid's a lot of dough.
Yeah.
And they would give you 10%. So I thought, that sounds good to me. It's a good bit of business, So I'd go out and bash them up, because they took a liberty anyway. You know, they tried to rob the geezer, turned him over. I didn't mind tuning them up, and I got my bit of money. And then I thought about it. I thought, I'm taking all the risk, and you're earning all the dough.
Yeah.
And I don't need you.
Yeah.
I now know how it works.
Yeah.
They educated me. Worst thing they done. Someone said to me, you know, do you want to come on an armed robbery? I went, yeah, all right. I'm only
that.
sort of like 16, 17. And I had the gun. And we held up a post office van.
I would like to know where he got the gun from. Where he got Kennedy from. Because he mentioned Kennedy at the start of the video. Where he get Kennedy from. That's what I wanted to tell me.
And it had nothing in it. They told me it was, so I made a right mug of myself. I don't mind admitting it, you know, I really messed it up. And we went up the Old Bailey, and I got a senior detention centre for 6 months.
So the Old Bailey, the Central Criminal Court of England and Wales. See there. For those who don't know what it's.
Very brutal places in them days, you know. It would be done there for child abuse, you know. And I see them beating kids up, and it brought out an anger in me. And when I come out, my dad was waiting, bless him. He went, no more guns and all that. I went, no. I said, leave it to me.
Oh, just the starting of it.
When I got out, I put my own firm together then. And they were all hungry, they all had criminal records.
Yeah, and put them one firm together. So back then, it was called firm. Now, we all know it as Gangster, right?
Tell me about your firm then. What were you called?
They just used to call us the chaps, you know. The chaps are about.
Imagine having that name now. Imagine having that name in today's current climate. The chaps. Yeah, watch out for the chaps. The only chaps you know is the chopsticks. The rifle them. Yeah. Them are the, yeah. Not with the Chinese eat with it now. Chopsticks. Rifle we call it chopsticks. So the man I say, yo, we were known as the chaps.
And I always dress nice. And I come out and I thought to myself, right, there's business to be done here. So I noticed that there was a lot of like Chinese Indian shops opened up. So I had the bricks put through their window for 2 times. Then I went into them and I said, look, we can stop this happening for you, you know. It's not nice. I said, people sitting down here trying to have a Chinese or an Indian, and a brick comes through and hits them side, yeah, it ain't going to come back. But we can stop it happening for you, yeah? And if you get a problem, you can phone us and I'll come and sort the problem. And I'd already had the reputation then for carrying a shooter, so we started up the business, the insurance business. Some people call it extortion, but
extortion! Bumbuckler, extortion business. What kind of insurance business you talk about, brother? Not because you dress smart and in your suit and you don't like to be called a gangster. You're a gangster. The chaps, you are head of the chaps, you're a gangster. Bumbuckler about insurance business. Extortion!
it was an insurance business.
No, it's not.
Then we had a bit of gang warfare.
Who was that with?
All the little firms, because there weren't enough money for all of us, you know, so I wanted it all for us. The cake weren't big enough to, why have a little slice when you can have a big slice, you know?
Badness.
It was just business sense. I didn't hate them, I didn't dislike them, you know, good luck to them, but don't step on my toes, you know, because I want it all.
What would happen if they kind of came onto your territory?
Well, they did, and I fired guns at them, and then they realised not to mess with me, so it was cool. But it got too bad.
They did, and I fired guns at them, but it was cool. No, it was not cool, bro. What are you talking about, dog? What are you talking about?
You know, because I want it all.
Listen what I'm saying.
What would happen if they kind of came onto your territory?
Well, they did, and I fired guns at them, and then they realised not to mess with me, so it was cool. But it got too bad, really bad stage, you know.
This guy's crazy.
I got done for a bank robbery. I got not guilty on that, but then I think the police targeted me. They knew I was bang at it. They used to come in the pub and I'd be sitting there, because in them days I didn't drink, I drank a bit of lemon, you know. And they used to walk in and go, hello, Mr. Cummings. So I used to go, hello, because, you know, being polite. And they used to say, we'll get you, we're watching you, we're going to get you, and we're going to put you away for 30 years, because this was about the time that the Crays and the Richardsons was going away for 30 years, and like train robbers. So they're talking big numbers now, where before you used to get 5 or 6, you know. But now you're talking double figures, which is a serious bit of work, you know.
Yeah.
It got to a stage where it become ridiculous. Like if someone got cut or shot, it was Bobby Cummings' that firm done it. If they caught a cold, it would be me who give it to them. If there was a car accident, I arranged it. You know, it got really ridiculous.
Yeah.
How made you graduate from the kind of racketeering and that stuff to more of the violent crime?
Well, the thing is, I mean, we was coming up against violent people. There was other gangs, you know, who wanted what we got. And no way they're going to have it. I mean, at one stage, I'm sitting in the pub, all my pals having a drink because they were drunk. And Tony Greek come in to me. He said, you know the fish and chip shop where your mum and dad goes? I went, yeah. He said, well, they're in bits. He said, like, a couple of Turkish guys got their daughter on heroin and trying to get her out on the game.
Okay.
And I went, do what? He said, yeah.
Prostitution.
And I know this family. They're hard-working people. You know, they're in that fish and chip shop from dinner time, working through the night time, you know, covered in grease, and they're nice people. He said, and they know about you, they've heard about you, and they want to talk to you, make it go away. I said, okay. So I got up and see him, and he had this biscuit tin, bless him. And he opened up the biscuit tin, he had rolls of notes in it. He said, Bobby, he said, you know, he's crying, his wife's crying, and I felt bad, you know. And he said, you know, these people, terrible people, you know, told me what they'd... He said, and we don't want the problem, we work people. He said, you know... I said, don't worry, I'll make it go away. So he gave me the biscuit tin, and it was their savings. And I don't take money off of them, I'm going to nick it off of people who really got it.
Yeah.
So I said, no. I said, what you do, if we come in here, we get fish and chips free, and if my mum and dad come up here, you give them their fish and chips free, okay? I said, and that's the price. He went,
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Although he's out there doing badness, he has a heart, and he don't want to take money off poor people. So he's going to rob other firms, which is gangs, or banks, post office, whatever, wherever the money there. That is rare. I can respect him for that.
But no, take them. I went, no, I don't want your money. So I've come out, and Frank was sitting in the motor. He was my driver, old Frank. He went, what's going on? I said, tomorrow, I said, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I said, bring the car round. So he said, what are we going to do? I said, we'll go and get Kennedy. That was my sawn-off shotgun. It was named after President Kennedy, because my birthday's 23rd November, and he got shot on the 22nd, so I named the gun Kennedy.
Oh, okay, makes sense. That make a lot of sense, dog. I never even thought about it. When time first him said him gun name Kennedy, I never think about it. Him love him gun.
He said, what are we going to do? I said, we'll go and get Kennedy. That was my sawn-off shotgun. It was named after President Kennedy, because my birthday's 23rd November, and he got shot on the 22nd, so I named the gun Kennedy. I said, and I want one chamber, one buckshot.
Sorry.
Shotgun. It was named after President Kennedy, because my birthday's 23rd November.
Okay.
And he got shot on the 22nd, so I named the gun Kennedy.
November, man.
I said, and I want one chamber, one buckshot filled with rock salt, and the other one with the normal buckshot in, all right? Yeah? I'm not messing about with these people. They're dangerous. I'm going to shoot them. So we go round to this lockup, and they had this, like in them days, they had these little lockups, you know, under the arches and all that sort of thing, or in little back alleys. And they had a car business there they was doing. So I got out the motor, got the sawn off, one's under the car, I walked in and I shot him through the leg with the rock salt. He was screaming,
questions.
but rock salt was good because it melted away and left no forensic. You know, when the blood hit it, it melted away, that's why I used it. I walked straight into the office, I threw my coat back, pulled out the sawn off, and I went, I'll blow your fucking head off. I went, how about that? I said, if you ain't off the manor in 24 hours, I'm going to blow your brains out.
What does it feel like to shoot someone?
Well, I weren't shooting in my head, right, because they used to say, how they do it, so you don't feel bad about it. They'd say, we've got a rat. So you dehumanise them, they're not a person anymore, they're a rat. So what I'm shooting is vermin. So I had no problem with that.
Problem.
They was doing bad things to people, you know, terrible things. And so they knew the name of the game when they was doing it, so they knew the rules. If you're a rat and you roll over, you get shot or killed. So it didn't matter to me in them days. If you started thinking, when you're going to shoot someone, you start thinking about wives, kids, grandmothers and all that, you couldn't do it. So you've got to dehumanise them so that they're just an object to be targeted, and you target them and you do it. You watch them, because you don't want to be talking to one of their pals if you're going to shoot them, in case it went back to them and they'd be on guard and it'd be harder to do. So you'd have to stalk them for a little while, know their whereabouts, what they're doing, where they go, who they talk with, you know. And then you'd find a place, you isolate them and you shoot them then. It's like anything, whether you're shooting them, cutting them. Once you've done one, half a dozen ain't too many. Because if you live with that, you become hardened. And that's why it's very hard for you to show love and emotion, that sort of thing, because you've got to bring the shutters down. Because if you don't, you'd go insane. Or you put one in your own mouth, you know? It's like an evolving thing. You go from one step to the next step and it gets more violent, more aggression. And in the end, it don't matter, because you're only doing rodents anyway. You know, you're doing rats. There's three people you can't do in this world, yeah? You can never do if you're a villain. And that's a straight goer, yeah? It's the media, and Old Bill. You've got to be a lunatic if you shoot Old Bill, because they're never going to give up on you. You shoot the media, it's all over the papers, and you're not going to earn no money. It's not profitable. You know, and this is where people got me wrong.
So basically, the straight go at the innocent person. You can't shoot the innocent person. He said, don't shoot the media because it's going to be all over the papers. And the Old Bill, you don't want to shoot the police. If you shoot the police, you're just asking for trouble. Then we'll never stop.
You know, that guy called me a gangster. I found it really offensive, you know. To me, everything was business. It didn't matter whether I liked you or didn't like you. If someone said to me, there's X amount of pounds, we're on shot in the leg, I'm going to look at it and think, right, if I shoot him, I get caught, I'm going to do this much jail. If I'm clever and I don't get caught, that's my money if I shoot him. So it's not as glamorous as people think. You're watching people around you. You're totally paranoid because you don't know if someone's going to pick up the phone and grass you up to the Old Bill. So you're watching your own type of people. You're watching the lunatic who thinks, well, if I shoot him, I'll get a good reputation. So you're in the crowd, you're the celebrity in the crowd, okay. But you're the loneliest person in the world because you don't know who the enemy is around you. You're always watching and...
Basically, I tell you, say, yo, he can't trust nobody around him. He might watch Fremont and he might watch the enemy. He might watch the police. He might watch everybody. You can't trust nobody in these games.
It's not a nice place to be.
You were sentenced to manslaughter. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about what happened there?
That was a bad one. You know, that's the only thing I've got on my conscience that I have to live with. That is the hardest thing I have to live with. Someone choked on a gag on a bit of work, you know, and they choked on their vomit. And
do you want to explain what that is?
It's a bad place for me, you know. Like we've done 100 times. You tie them up, you gag them, yeah? You go, the police come, untie them, boom. You make sure you've got your smother on so no one knows who you are. You know, I used to wear a crash helmet, blacked out visor, and so no one knows who you are. If I could undo that one, just that one, that would be the only thing in my life I would undo. It should never have happened, you know. If I'd have shot them or something like that, yeah, but, you know, on a gag and they choke on their vomit, I mean...
So, he does have regrets, and this is his biggest regrets in life. Kidnapped somebody, was torturing somebody, the person choked on them vomit and died. So, he does have regrets. I don't know why he regrets this one, because it shouldn't have happened, but I don't know. Obviously, the guy that they was doing it to must have done something that they needed to step in to do that. But why he regrets it so much, I don't know.
It wasn't a nice thing, and I have to live with that, you know. And even to this day, I have to live with that. I've done an innocent.
Oh, okay. So the person was innocent.
You don't do that in my world. You don't do innocence.
Oh, so the person was innocent. Oh, okay.
No, that one I feel terrible about.
That's why.
But when I go to church, because I'm Catholic, I believe in that sort of thing. I always light a candle for that person.
This is the thing. Most criminals, they're religious. Most criminals, like at his stature back in his time, are religious. that is the thing. Them fear God. But them the on earth do some devious things, but them fear God. It's just ironic, dog.
Like I do my mum and dad and my daughter who died, you know. I light candles for them. It's a respect thing, and I say a prayer for them, you know.
Why do you think the death of that victim at your hands has caused you so much kind of mental pain?
Because it should never have happened. I was prided myself on good work, clean work, you know. I was out there to earn money. I weren't there to hurt people. If I had to hurt them, that was because they put themselves in a position where they had to go. Yeah.
This is how serious he took his job. He took his job like a plumber. A plumber take pride. Some plumber take pride in them work. A teacher take pride in them work. Yeah, some police take pride in them work. Him as a criminal takes pride in his work. So that's his career. He's a career criminal. He takes pride in them work. So when
you know, it's the same. You know, when I was doing villains, I didn't care. You know, if they come up against, I know they're going to stab or shoot me, I'm going to give it to them first.
Yeah.
So that didn't count, because we lived in a different world to everyone else. We lived in our own world, amongst our own people, and we all knew the rules.
So you were sent to prison for manslaughter.
How much years you get?
When you were there, what was prison like?
It was a university of crime. You learned other people. Like if I now had the connections. If I wanted a dodgy passport, I know someone who's doing dodgy passports.
It makes them worse. Sending certain people to prison, it makes them worse. Prison break some people, but prison makes some people. And listen to what he's saying, dog. If
now
you
had the connections.
make
If
links.
I wanted a dodgy passport, I know someone who's doing dodgy passports. If I wanted, a dodgy checkbook account, got people to arrange that. If I wanted to deal in drugs, I'm meeting some of the best drug dealers and smugglers in the country. If I wanted to make bombs, I'm talking to the IRA and people like that. There was in Parkhurst, which was Britain's Alcatraz at the time. You had the most.
So it's Parkhurst. Let me see if I can see it. Parkhurst, one of Britain's toughest prisons. Notable inmates include the Yorkshire Ripper and the Cray twins.
Dangerous KA men in the country there. I was in there, It was the most politest place I've ever been in my life because everyone's a potential killer. If they ain't killed, they're already up for doing it. And so everyone said good morning, no one pushed in the queues. If you forgot to say good morning to someone, they could get paranoid, think you're plotting up on them and kill you. And also, when you're in prison, you ain't going nowhere. And we all know how to kill people. There's many ways you can kill people. One of my pals, they had food boats, he took an onion, and it was another geezer had already nicked it. And the guy went, that's my onion, and he went, go on your bike, because he could have a row, he was a boxer. And the guy stabbed him through the heart with a butcher's boning knife and killed him, so he died over an onion. You didn't serve your sentence in KA prisons. You survived KA prisons,
Sounded just as violent as the streets.
No. Prison was worse than the streets. In the streets, you could have a punch up, a carve up. In there, you're going to get killed.
Yeah.
What was life like then when you left prison?
It was easing up a bit. They shut Parkhurst down in the end, and so the KA prisoners there and the extremely violent, organised crime units was all moved to like Belmarsh, Long Lartin, places like that.
Was it hard saying goodbye to your criminal past and going straight?
Well, my wife had my daughter, was pregnant with my daughter, and I made a rule that my daughter would never sit on the other side of a prison table. I'd never let her experience prison.
So he changed his life because he found someone worth living for, which is his daughter. A lot of criminals do that. A lot of criminals do change their life because them start have them own like a family, and them find, okay, this person is depending on me to do right by them and to do good by them. So this is what makes him change his life. This is nice.
I lived a quiet life, I didn't go back to London. I went to live in Kent, and I saw the beauty of things. When you're locked up, like you go out, you walk through a park, you're on your way to work, you're walking through a park, you don't see what's happening in that park. But to me, I'd stop, I'd look at squirrels, I'd look at trees. I used to sometimes do really weird things like take my shoes and socks off and actually walk on damp grass, just to feel what, because I didn't have them experiences. I was in concrete tomb. I was buried alive in a concrete tomb for years. I look at it now and I think to myself, I've got such a beautiful life now,
So by this point, he start learning to appreciate the smaller things, which is nice. He start learning to live a bit. Rather than living on the edge, he's actually living.
Peace, Now I've got a sweet life, and all the people in the village where I go, they all know me. I get on well with them. I'm very polite, and if some of the old girls, I'm in the shop and they can't afford, the bread, or they can't afford this, I go, I'll put it on my account, and I pay. And it's that little bits of kindness, not throwing here, here's 20 grand. It's like, go on, I'll do that bit of shopping for you. But that word goes around that village and they go, no, he's a nice guy. So I'm known as a nice guy, and I like that. Even the little kids go, oh, hey, Bobby, hello, Bobby. I go, all right, how's it going? You being a good boy? Yeah, well, no. And off they go. But then I've really got into the education. I was going to schools, de-glamorise crime. I go into prisons and talk to prisoners and de-glamorise. I say, this is what's going to happen to you. And I can get away with that because they know I'm talking from experience because I've done it. And you don't get any worse than killing people, so people take you very serious. They don't want to upset you anyway because they don't know if you still do it on them.
Would you have ever thought back in the day when you were committing those crimes that you would be kneeling in front of the Queen collecting an OBE?
No,
that never entered my head. I did what I did because I believed in what I was doing. I didn't want to.
So this man do all this stuff, turn him life around. Kudos to him. Kill a few people by the sound of things, and he got an OBE from the Queen. Well, damn, Queen, I'm out here. Queenie, me there do some reaction video. Me can't get an OBE to please. Queen, me there do reaction video. You can't give me an OBE. Eh? Want an OBE, please. God damn it, bro.
Another kid having the life I have. I'd like him to have the life I got now. It's very nice, thank you. So I had this letter, and it said, you know, one Buckingham Palace, one that you've been honoured with on the Queen's Honour list, New Year's Honours list, and we want to give you the OBE, and you have to accept it, because, you know, will you accept it? And I phoned them up. I thought it was one of my pals made a moody letter up and having a laugh. So we phoned them up, and they went, no, this is serious. Will you accept it? Well, I'm a total royalist, so of course I'm going to accept it. I said, of course. I go there, and you go through this side entrance. And as I'm walking up to the front of Buckingham, well, I pulled up in the car, as we get out of the car, Buckingham Palace, I'm looking at Buckingham Palace, and my head flicked back to when I was a kid, and my dad used to go and take me to watch changing the guards and that. And he said to me one day, he said, see them people there? I went, yeah, he went, they're the toffs, right? He said, when you're going through that door, that's when you know you made it. And that day I walked through that door, I thought, I wish he was alive there to see me walk through the door, because all they see me was as a villain. They didn't see me as a straight girl because they would died. And I'm standing, but it was, I'll tell you what, I don't fear no one. I don't fear nothing, I don't fear no one. But I stood in front of her, and it was a really weird feeling. It's like your mum standing there, you've been a naughty boy, you know.
What did she say to you?
She said to me, you've got a very, because everyone asked me that, what did she say? And she said, I must say, I've never met someone like you. You've got a very colourful background. Well, I thought that was the poshest words of someone saying to me, cool, you've got a lot of form, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
bang at it.
Getting your OBE must have been a really proud moment. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Forget religion, forget colour, forget sex. Boils down to, in life, two things. Are you a good person or a bad person? That's all it boils down to.
Do you ever miss the old
Really?
life?
So I had to go through hell, right, to appreciate heaven.
I've said this so many times. Sometimes you have to go through hell to appreciate heaven, dog. And this man just said it. I had to give my round of applause. True, dog.
And that's what it is. You have to see ugliness to appreciate beauty. You have to witness hatred and venom to appreciate love and kindness.
Definitely.
I actually thought he was going to walk off.
Yo, the man don't like to be called gangster, and them still put London gangster. The man don't like gangster. Call him insurance company. Yo, big up Bobby. Big up Bobby. Yo, this, me like this. And big up to the G, and him OBE also. Obviously, turn him life around, doing good things. He's going into prisons, schools, and stuff like that. And having presentations, speaking to the younger generation, which is nice. It's nice. And at least he's still around to be able to do that. You know what I mean? So yeah, big up yourself. So guys, if you like that one, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe around there if you're new, and I'll see you guys in our next one. Alright? Peace.